Listen, you know a lot of times when we don't have boldness, it's when we've failed and fallen flat on our face. Haven't had a good week. Listen, have you never read? We have an enemy. At the end of this book, you're going to need to do everything to stand in the evil day. That means there's evil days. And who's behind it? These cosmic powers of darkness. And what do? They want to trip you up. They want to tangle you in those thorns. They want you to cease to follow Christ when the persecution comes. They want to snatch up that seed. They want to make you fail. They want to make you faithless. They want to make you not go to God boldly. They want to tell you all manner of lies. They want to discourage you. They want you to be powerless. They don't want this church to be any sort of witness. They want you to flounder. They want you to be in despair. They want you to be in doubt. That's what they want. They want you to question everything. And when you're having one of those weeks and you're being attacked and they're speaking in your ears and they're telling you all sorts of lies and they're reminding you of all your failures and you're full of doubts and the devil's breathing down your neck and saying, how can you be a Christian? But I'll tell you this, though you have faith like a mustard seed, if you can say, but in the midst of all of it, my only hope of being accepted, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood, His shed blood, His righteousness. I may be weak, but I know that's my only hope. I'll tell you this. If your hope is just simply that by Christ's stripes I am healed, that faith may be like a mustard seed. But it's based on what Christ did that you ought to have that boldness, not your performance. And that's the problem with far too many. This law, this legality. You know, I actually read a chunk of Pilgrim's Progress yesterday. Mr. Feeble Mind, do you know what Bunyan said about him? He actually came from a legalism. Legalism will cause you to fear. Why? Because it's all performance-based. You're always looking at what you've done. You're always looking at how well you've kept the law. Look, righteousness is a part of the Christian life. But you never want to get, even when you read Scripture that talks about the fact that you ought to be following Christ and doing the works that He did and being zealous of good works, even when you read those, don't you dare think that's what gives you boldness to approach God, because it is not the foundation. We have boldness that comes from something else. It's confidence. Brethren, do you recognize that grace is the remedy for fear? That's where our hope rests. Fear is so often a result of continuing to hear the law pounding in our ears, but our bold confidence is based on Christ's blood. Is Christ your only hope? Or your faith be like that little mustard seed? Don't you know? Even if you say, it's just small, I feel weak. But so what? If you're clinging to Christ, God requests your presence. Come with all your weakness. Come with all of it. He requests you. Why? Because you have access and He loves you. And that's the reality. Enter, approach. In all your fainting fits and losing heart, come. And you know what? What does it say about though your faith be like a mustard seed? You can move mountains. Why? Because you've got access to He who moves mountains. Now, you don't have power in yourself to move them, but you have access to the one who does move mountains. And you can come bold as a lion. And it is no presumption. Now the devil's going to tell you, after what you did, God doesn't want you there. But you know what God says? I want you here. I want you before my throne. Come. Because there's mercy there. There's grace to help in time of need. You come. I want you there. God is calling you all the time. Draw near. The devil's saying, can't go near, can't go near. Why? Sin, sin. Wait. If your eyes are on Christ, and God says, come, come. We have access. What ought that to do to our prayer life? We have access. Think of all the things that you may not have just simply because you haven't taken God on His word. You haven't used the access that you have. God doesn't want us timid. He doesn't want us cowards. Listen, boldly approach the throne of grace. You can be bold as lions. You can go there. He wants you there. Let's get your eyes off yourself. If you stand and look in the mirror, the devil's going to be right there and say, man, that is ugly. That is bad. But when you put your eyes on Christ, you know what? The devil has no answer. You're going to shut his mouth. You'll shut it. You say to the devil, yes. Yes, I've failed. Yes, I'm surprised that God would ever want to receive such a one as I. Yes, it's true, my faith is weak. I have doubts. Yes, I have sins. Yes, I have not honored the Lord all the time the way that I wish to. But devil, I'm not going because I've measured up. But I have a substitute who stood in my place, and he measured up. And though you tempt me to doubt it all, still my hope is built on Christ. And it is built on His blood. It is built on Him performing a righteousness in my place, a substitute. And I will go to God, and I will betake my blood-bought right to stand in the presence of God. Christian, that's what you have. And though you ever have so much weakness, if you know my hope is Christ, I'm trusting Christ, I'm leaning there, I'm resting. Access, beloved, that's what we have. Be bold. Why not? Access means what? It means you're going to be heard. When you lift up your voice to God and cry to Him, the living God says, Isaiah 58, here I am. You cry, here I am. This is no small part of being a Christian. This is a huge part of being a Christian. Approaching God. Access means that God is going to hear. God is going to respond. God is going to answer. God is going to act on your behalf. God is going to hear. He's going to respond. That's what access means.